To understand the skills story, you need to go back to 2009 to 2012. The Great Recession had hit the United States, and Mayor Daley at that time wanted to do something about how unemployment was impacting middle-income workers. So Chicago Career Tech was founded with the City of Chicago funding, and I was the first executive director there. And the goal was to provide an opportunity for individuals to actually shadow at companies to try out the work as they tried new job fields. During that 3-year period, we discovered what today we call the skills model. And we found that training people without having a guarantee of a job was actually not the best use of resources. And instead, what we stumbled upon, or I like to say actually figured out along the way, was that when you actually start with employer and the employer actually interviewed folks from the start, we had a much higher success rate for putting people into jobs than training them and hoping they got a job. And essentially what we came to learn was that there's very unique cultural aspects of companies. And so why put somebody through training if at the end of the day, the company wasn't gonna hire them anyway? So from that, we had discovered that this model, the skills model, was really, really powerful and had a placement rate, which was, honestly, almost 100%, because at the beginning, you're talking to the companies about what they want and they're involved in hiring the people. From there, what happened is when the mayor changed in Chicago, we saw that as an opportunity to actually shed some of the other components of Chicago Career Tech and go full throttle on the skills model. So I had the opportunity to go meet with the mayor's office and talk with them about this desire to go full throttle with the skills model. And during that time, they were very intrigued because we were sharing data in a way that was compelling to them and showing them what was working. And so I got connected then and introduced to Penny Pritzker, who ultimately became our founding chair, but I had not known during that time, and got introduced and basically went in and gave a business pitch, just like you would venture capital funding. So I'm running Chicago Career Tech. Our team puts together a business plan for skills for Chicagoland's future. Went and met with Penny and some other funders, and they loved it. And Penny had an initiative called Skills for America's Future, which was operating out of the Aspen Institute. And it was an initiative, and it was looking at how you engage with businesses so that you can actually get people back to work. And Penny and the Skills for America's Future initiative realized that they needed a local entity. They needed a local pilot. And so we took our model, shared it with the funders. They were really interested. Penny was really interested. And so during that process, we spent the next 9 months actually updating and revising the business model, working with a series of civic leaders from Chicago to gain consensus and input, creating a new board of directors. So in September 2012, we formally launched Skills for Chicagoland's Future with about $3 million in funding from the city of Chicago and from JP Morgan Chase and from Penny Pritzker, and announced that we were here to actually launch this initiative, which was going to transform the way that the workforce system exists. And the whole goal of it was to partner with businesses on the front end so that we could then identify ways to get unemployed and underemployed into jobs that was going to be efficient and effective for the businesses.